Everyone, welcome to the planning committee for those watching us on YouTube. Do we have any apologies for absence?
We have to accept apologies from the Sustainable Council Society, and we have to approve apologies from Councillor Singh for reason number 3.
Yeah, we approve the reason. That's
Yeah. Second that.
Robin, Rose, friends. Seconded. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
In favour? Thank you.
And we need to approve apologies from Councillor Jane Mordew for reason number 4.
Yeah. Robin?
We accept.
Yeah, approve.
You're in the second of that? Robin Brown again. Thank you, vote please. Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? Robin?
Just my normal decorations, just in case anything in Buckingham and the planning committee. I will do my normal declaration, which is I'm where I might have seen it.
Thank you. Could we agree the minutes for the last meeting held on the 18th of May?
If I may just point out a small typo, the very last line says that the chair and vice chair will not be present at the next meeting. Will not be present at the next meeting is what it said. We have corrected that since the draft went out because it missed the word "be." They look like they would not present at the meeting, as opposed to would not be present at the meeting. That has been corrected. I don't think it's sufficient for it to be an amendment to the minutes, but I'm just making us aware that what's going to here anyway.
Yeah. So we agree? Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
We need to propose a second vote on those.
Because you're agreeing that.
Andy, you're
Second.
You proposed, didn't you?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Andy seconded, yeah.
Thank you.
Right, we now move on to planning applications. For members' information, the next scheduled Buckinghamshire Council, North Buckinghamshire Planning Area Committee meetings are on Wednesday, the 17th of June and 22nd of July at 2:30 PM. Strategic Sites Committee meetings are on Thursday, the 2nd of July and the 20th of July at 2 PM.
Thank you.
And now we move on to planning applications, that's correct? Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
And item 1 relates to the White Hart Hotel. Installation of a 98-inch TV supported on metal frames securely fixed to the ground at the rear of the property. And can I just make it clear, when it says rear of the property, it's not internal, it's external. And it's not soundproofed or anything like that. So can we have a discussion on what people's thoughts are on that? Roger.
What I asked Catherine is, has there been have they put in a noise evaluation for environmental health? I think we should probably ask the one if they haven't.
Yeah.
You know that? So, probably asked environmental health to.
No, I still, when we put our comments back,
Yes.
they,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, they should put in, they should actually, because of this where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the proximity to houses behind.
Yeah.
We should really do a noise impact study.
Yeah.
Thanks.
For the discussion, so if I can just add, items 1 and 2 can be taken together because they're effectively the same thing.
Yeah. Sorry, should have noted that. John.
Yeah, I've looked at this the other day. And obviously the screen is not going to be facing the flats, it's facing the pub. But it is the noise, I think that's the issue. Is this a noise from the TV? I imagine people will be watching televised sport of some kind. and people can get quite rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, people get rowdy in pubs generally, but
Yeah.
it's a different kind of rowdiness when
It's
you're watching a
interesting.
sports match. I'm reluctant to agree to this, I have to say.
Any further
It
thoughts?
will face the flats in Markham's Court.
Oh, yes, you will, you're right. Yeah, sorry, Catherine, you're right. Yes. Yeah,
Frank,
It's also very close proximity to Canford Court, isn't it?
yeah,
It's facing up that way. Having been involved in running pubs for many years, and was running a pub in Nottingham city centre during the 2002 World Cup. I witnessed firsthand what happened when there was outside televised matches. It's far more difficult to control what's going on, noise levels, etc. I think that this would be very detrimental to people in that area. You've got people in place within the building watching sports on television. To an extent, their exuberance can be contained, whereas outside, very much not so. I'd be opposed to it.
John, just before I come back to you, I understand that their part of the license agreement is that they can't use that area after 11 o'clock. And my concern would be how do they police that?
No.
And and also they do have a multitude of TVs within the environment itself internally. John,
yeah, I was going to say, there is already an external TV
Yeah.
in the kind of seating area that's undercover, which is quite a large TV. Yeah. Not happy with this.
okay, should we move to a vote on this? Unless anyone else has got anything to say?
Only one point, if I may. The matches with England, some of them are very late in the evening and night. That'll impact if they do have it there. I don't think it's advised.
I'm surprised actually that they hadn't made the application earlier so that they could start the World Cup. Because with it going in, it will be halfway through the World Cup at this rate.
I'd assume that they thought about it last minute.
Yes.
I actually parked it today and the screen isn't up as of yet.
No.
Sorry, Richard.
No, just a thought about the 11 o'clock time. Pubs have been given extra licences until 1 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
during the World
For
Cup.
the World Cup, yeah.
but I'm not sure it extends to this external area, Catherine.
It doesn't extend to the external area. Carry on. I actually got in touch with licensing and asked. Yes, they can go on inside the White Hart where they have electric TV, both entertainment and alcohol, but not outside after 11. But as Councillor Allen says, who's going to police it? Yeah.
Okay, unless anyone else has got anything else to say, can we move to a vote on this? Can I put forward a proposal that we object?
I think I already did that.
Yeah, you've done that, Frank. Yeah, so you want to say that the proposal is
I propose that we object to this on the grounds of noise impact onto residential properties in the vicinity.
okay. So you've proposed it. Do we have a second? Andy, so Frank proposes, Andy seconds.
So it's noise and light pollution.
Yeah.
With the facing the flats too.
Okay. And we add that to
I'm single.
I'm happy to accept
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so it has been seconded, so the second will need to accept that as well.
We did. Yeah.
Can we move to a vote on that then, please?
Or might I just check we're going to go 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's anyone object? Sorry. I was counting you all, but then anyone object? Anyone abstain? Two abstentions. Right, so we move on to item 3. Number 14, Wells Street. This is the building application for roof repairs, including the reconstruction of the roof and walls, treatment timbers, replacement of felt. So we want to have a little discussion about this. Anyone got any thoughts on this? Catherine.
And I just point out that on Friday, the heritage officer responded and pointed out that that is not a like or like dormer window.
Yeah.
And we all see that. Do you want the file
Because the dormer window is actually in the description of the application. And it does say like for like. And of course it says 18th century timber window. And that is not, doesn't look at all like it. So the heritage officer is quite strongly against the dormer.
Okay.
Did anyone have a hand up again? Catherine spoke and gave us that information. Roger.
Yeah, there's been a lot of problems with this house through probably lack of maintenance over the last few years. So I would propose that we have no objections, providing that the heritage officer agrees with that once she's sorted it out.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I'll say what Roger's saying. Yeah.
Okay. So proposal by Roger is that we accept the minutes, as long as the heritage.
Can I just ask if the Buckingham Society has got anything to?
We had no comment on that.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. We hadn't any comment on that. We didn't see anything intrinsically wrong.
No.
I hadn't realised that there wasn't a like for like. Okay, so.
Thank you. Thank you. So the proposal is from Roger is that we accept the works once agreed that. Is this the right, Roger? That we accept the works once there is agreement with the heritage.
Yeah.
The officer.
No objection.
No objections, yeah. So Roger's proposed that, John, you've seconded, yeah?
Yeah.
Can we have a vote on that, please? Any abstentions? No abstention. Okay. So we now move on to 24 High Street. Which has been to us before, I believe, and
No, it was pulled. It was on the agenda and it was pulled between the end of the meeting.
Okay, so 24 High Street, and as you can see, there's a like-for-like building next door. Certificate of law for improvement of EPC rating by fitting double glazed windows, doors, insulating doors, insulating the internal walls, installing solar PV panels and thermal panels to rear facing roofs. What's people's thoughts on this? Well,
I don't see a problem with it. In fact, we'd encourage it. We want people to use those panels.
And it's at the rear, so it's not going to impact the street.
If it's where I think it is, wouldn't the rear be the wrong place to put the solar panels? Because would that not be north facing?
No, it's facing the bus stand, so it's
So it's on the other side of the road.
west. The back, it's facing east, back wall will be facing west.
Okay. Okay, that would probably work.
The applicant has contacted me personally, and I've sent on to Aylesbury to point out that she did misput in the application that it is C2 nursing home. It's actually a C3 residence. I did think
We won't
that
continue with
the story times is going to be an unusual care.
so would someone like to put, as Buckingham's.
I will also say that there are no drawings whatever with this, so we have no idea what sort of pattern of windows are going to be put in.
It's interesting.
Just to clarify that this is not happening on the front elevation on the street. But we did notice that next door seems to have got rid of sashed windows and the rest of it, and that was all passed. So precedents have been set on this little block, and it'd be very difficult to argue the toss about that now.
Okay, thank you very much.
my colleagues would like next door's situation to be reopened, but I think that's not realistic, to be honest, but they wanted me to indicate that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So is our proposal then to accept the works? Let's go ahead, yes?
No,
No objection.
No objections. Okay, can I have a proposal, please?
Not proposed, Don.
I propose, yeah.
Yeah. And a
I'll
second,
second it.
Don proposing. Can we have a show of hands? No,
everybody apart from Becky.
apart from Martin. Okay, and then we now move on to item 5. The site of the former creamery. Now Cocktail Robinson, used to be Mole's Country Stores.
No.
No, it's the way around.
I'm sorry, I should know, I live next to it. Going there often. Okay, installation of air conditioning units. What's people's thoughts on this?
I've no objections to it. It's a agricultural stroke commercial
Yeah.
site. It's quite a distance from the nearest residence, isn't it? So
Has got offices, obviously.
yeah.
John?
I've got no objections either, but can we encourage them to put solar panels on their roof to actually power the air conditioning units? Because they've got this big roof, which lend itself to solar panels.
Can we put that suggestion forward? Are we able to do that?
I'm just sort of. They can ignore it, but we could do it.
Yeah, we can't make it.
I'm not sure whether Mole own the building or whether the NFU do. So if the NFU tenants, they might not be able to.
Well, if they can put air conditioning in, that's presumably a building
Yeah, but
structure.
these are 5 small units in the office.
Just a suggestion.
I'll put it in the response.
So no objections with the suggestion that if they're in a position to do so, that they need to solar panel on.
Yeah.
Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I have a show of hands, please?
Second.
Oh, sorry, proposer?
I think I
Fran's already
Yeah, I
proposed.
thought Fran had, yeah.
Second.
And a second, or
Oh, sorry. That's it's so much easier.
Fran proposed it.
It's chair and vice chair that you did. Yeah, so much easier.
yeah, point of order, Chair, in the previous incarnation of this planning committee, automatically, all the suggestions was proposed by the chair, seconded by the deputy. Obviously, we can't do that tonight because
Yeah.
Jane's not here, but this saves all this bother of
Yeah,
working out each time who's the proposer and who's the seconder.
right.
It seemed to work quite well.
I wasn't aware of that, all the time I've been doing so. So Fran's proposed,
Yeah, it's actually fine.
yeah,
Yeah, name something.
yeah. Fran's proposed these.
Yeah.
No, hands, please. That's all except Robin. 144 Morton Road. Proposed single story front extension, with new access steps, single story rear extension to replace the existing conservatory, single story freestanding garage, outbuilding to replace the existing garage, and new boundary walls and replacement drive. Anyone like to say anything on this, please? Seen the examples, what is?
I think it accords with policy and we should, I suggest no objection.
No objections?
Yeah, seconded.
Okay. And here we got,
We indicated no comment on that one.
Right.
Happened to hang on with it.
all right, excellent. Okay, so Roger's proposing, sorry, Frank was going to say?
No, I was putting my hand up to vote. I was previously.
Roger was proposing we accept and John seconded?
Yep.
No objections.
No objections?
Yeah.
Show of hands, please. Everyone other than Robin? And item 7, Spa Cottage Bath Lane. Proposed ground floor rear extension, first floor side extension. Nice properties down in the Bath Lane there, near the area that has had flooding. And that's indicated in the information that we've got. Anyone got any thoughts on this property? Gotcha.
I think as long as the flood risk officer is content, then I can't see any objections to this. The design verticals with a design guide for extensions.
Okay. Any other thoughts on this one? No? So you're proposing no objections?
Yes.
We have a seconder, please? John?
So can I just check, are we proposing no objections if the flood risk officer is content,
Yeah.
Yeah,
as opposed to no?
Oh, sorry. Okay. Should pick that up. So Roger's proposing that 22nd, then. Can we have a show of hands, please? Everyone on the accepted. These two, the next two applications are linked together. No, sorry, you gonna say something?
Oh, sorry, the tree one,
Yes.
yes, sorry.
Two applications are clearly linked and can be considered together. 19 Morton Road, conifer tree to be removed due to being a health decline, lots of dead wood and roots are cracking the retaining wall. 21 Morton Road, flat 2, conifer to be removed due to health decline, lots of dead wood and root system affecting the retaining wall. Got an issue there where obviously if no action is taken, those that wall, which is a substantial wall, could collapse, and which would be costly and obviously it could be dangerous to people passing by as well, I would have thought. And if any of those trees were to fall, I think they could cause an awful lot of obstruction along our main road in the town.
yeah.
So I propose no objections on that.
Yeah.
So
There's no mention of replanting.
I was about to say that that's what the tree warden said, they said they could see that the wall damage is taking place. But suggestions were made for alternative planting further up the garden, so it wouldn't affect the wall.
and that's made by the tree warden.
Yes, because they get circulated by email before a meeting.
Are we happy with that?
So we're proposing no objections with the caveat that we agree with the tree officer that there should be replacement part.
Yeah, further up.
No, these are our own tree wardens.
Oh, all right, so sorry. Shall we? In the case we say no objections, or whatever.
Martin, you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased that my fellow colleagues as tree wardens have picked up on my thought pattern.
Okay. So what should we put forward then on that? And that's that, we would like to see trees replaced.
Replaced, yes.
Yeah, no objection.
No objection, yeah.
Of the trees replaced.
Okay.
One of the original 5 has been replaced further up the garden, so that's why they suggested it happened to these two.
Yeah,
Okay.
trees replaced, not necessarily in the same location.
No, further up the garden.
Yeah.
I mean, these are very long front gardens
Yes.
down to the Morton Road.
All the same.
Yeah, but then got any back gardens.
Yeah, I think they're not well maintained.
Okay, so was it myself that proposed that or was it
Yeah,
Martin?
it was you.
Yeah, I proposed that. Can we have a second, please? Martin, second. Can we have a show of hands? Thank you. And we now move to item 10. 23 Bridge Street, listed building application for the subdivision of the existing ground floor commercial unit. Provide 2 small units, the old Florence Nightingale hospice shop.
You will find the extra information in your folders, because we have the usual thing that I found the application on the website, but there weren't any documents with it. So I had to copy together the first page from what I could lay hands on from previous applications, and then the back of the page has got the elements and things on. So I'm quite glad to say that it confirmed what I said.
And the understanding is that the frontage doesn't change, so it's not going to become a modern frontage or anything like that.
The modern it is, because the place like we're not keeping them.
Yeah. But obviously we're talking about a part of town where we've got two major buildings not in use. Any thoughts as you're looking through that? John?
Well, Catherine's highlighted in the additional information, that only one half will have a toilet. And the other half won't. Because there's only one WC currently for the shop.
The one, there are two units and only one of them has access to the upper floors, where there is another toilet and a kitchenette. So the unit on the right hand side, as you look at the pair, has the access to the upstairs, whereas the little unit on the left is literally just that room and the little cabinet behind it. And it has got it. So that's they existed until not so long ago as two units. Carol's took over the right hand of the two, and then when the people in the office next door moved out, Carol knocked the two together.
Yeah. I mean, it's been vacant for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So the house was moved out at least 2 years ago now, isn't it? Something like that.
No, it wasn't quite long ago.
Not quite 2 years.
But I mean, the man says it's probable that he can actually rent smaller units out more easily than a big double fronted shop. It's not a great place for a double fronted shop.
It's not great. It's not so forth.
So I think if he can manage to get tenants for both halves, good for that, good luck to us.
Anthony, is there?
Yeah, one or two points. The one that John picked up, we weren't clear that there was more than one toilet on the premises.
Right.
As it stands, and if there is one upstairs and there's access, which unit 2 can go through the back. The other point was, unit 1, once they do this, doesn't appear to have any rear access, and we were a bit concerned about fire and the possibility of a single exit, particularly as it was a shared access at the front.
Right.
So I don't know what the rules are with commercial properties like that.
I can express that concern and ask them to check with the fire people.
Okay. You happy with that? If we...
Yeah. It's our comments, Chair. Yeah.
I think if it makes 2 new shops instead of having one large empty vacant one, it's a positive for the town, particularly in that area where we've got a lot of smaller independent shops. So yeah, with the caveats regarding the fire egress from unit 1, I would say that we would support it. I suppose we would support it.
Have you proposed, can we have a seconder on that, please? Right. Can we have a show of hands? Or Robin. So we now move to planning decisions, approve, refuse and withdraw. Has anyone got any comments on these? John?
I mean, we were quite concerned about the Cornwall Place application in terms of the positioning of the staircase and everything else. Do we have any intel from the decision made by the Shire Council as to why they thought it was okay?
Apparently the type of application, the fire approval application, is one of these, let's get these plans shifting quickly idea. You just have to tick some boxes, not all of them are, what we would have considered like access. And it's just a question of, is it a sturdy building? Can it accommodate these people? Fine. I think But personally, if I was going to rent one of those flats, once I saw the access, I would go and look somewhere else. I wouldn't be that desperate. And Tony said that his friends were shown it. And they were
Yesterday in the area with the aircon unit, or we might have even been astonished actually that permission would have been given.
I mean, I sent photographs.
Cheers.
Even then, they don't appear to have come and inspected it.
At this stage, is there anything more we can do?
There's not.
So they've approved it.
Yeah.
Robin,
I think it would be worth noting, I know the council, the committee said their concerns. But these are unusual applications in unusual circumstances, but probably some of the most vulnerable people in our community. So don't think, yes, I'm sure it was agreed legally and whatever, and your representations went in. And because it's one of those applications where you can't put to committee and you can't do this, it's got by. I think it would be worth a carefully considered comment about though it's been agreed, we still maintain our concerns about the residents and everything else, and that along the lines of, are we to expect more of these, or would what the grounds that they accept them on? Because they go in these grounds, are they choosing the grounds or are just
The new legislation has the list of ticks that have to be tick boxes. We've already had to.
Yeah.
The old Chinese eating right, but and the next door is the come of it. That's there, but they have got the separate exits at the rear into the car park. I think probably the one that from Chinese that actually leads down into Coral Place is probably extant, inaccessible. But
It doesn't look like anybody's been through there for a while.
But my point, Chair, is that I think it's a note of concern in the planning party about our concerns. All the council's concerns haven't been addressed.
and we're in a position to do that, are we?
Say that right to be, and then just so that it's on record,
Okay.
because it'll be on record that we expect about the post application, post legal, whatever.
Is everyone in agreement?
Concerns were well made, weren't they?
Yes. Everyone in agreement with that? Did we note our concerns?
Well, we would need a second if we have a second.
Can I just ask a question? Do we know what they were seeking prior approval for? Details of it.
change of use.
Is that up to now?
They'll have to put full planning in, won't
To
they?
put in a full planning application now to agree the details and stuff like that.
And it could get opposed at that stage.
Yeah, you might put in the comment, yeah, when you see what exactly they're proposing to do.
Okay.
That said, I listened to Roger, and I do think that at least whenever the big summit goes on and it goes through and something happens, I do think that it's significant enough that committee made really good points on it. I sat and listened to them. I'm not necessarily going to propose that we do that, but I think that it's too important to let it go.
So we note our position is still.
It does require a further application, if I've heard Roger correctly. That would be the appropriate time to make those comments, so yes.
Yep.
People then they won't get lost in the system, they'll apparent that that's what it's related to.
So they've got
Through my
creation
recommendation.
is change of use and nothing else. So there'll probably be conditions on that saying what they need to submit now to get consent.
So we'll deal with it at that time. We'll address it in writing, yeah? Everyone
Oh,
happy with that?
yeah, I think it'll be the easiest way to go about it.
Okay. We don't need to take a vote on that, do we?
No, I was just making a comment because it is a pretty good application, and I listened to everything everybody said and thought it made a lot of sense. So.
And you can comment now.
Right.
Thanks very much. Any other further points on any of those other matters? But
I would like to point out that the finally bottom one, the withdrawn one, that was a 2020 application for an additional parking bed. And it's taken this long.
It's not more.
That's why I put what members put back in 2020, because half of you weren't here.
I was thinking I didn't remember it.
okay, can we move on to item 6 then, action reports? Regular actions updates. Nothing really more to comment on that. And now we're on to item 7, which we will need to talk about. Statement of the licensing policy, a consultation. Is this now in the pack here? That we've got, or is it?
It's on the
agenda.
yeah.
Okay, so I understand that previous consultations have been dealt with by Catherine and 1 or 2 other people working together and then putting it out to the committee for
No, wrong way round.
Also-
The committee submits their comments and possibly draft answers. And we collate them and send them, and a useful councillor moves that it's just me.
This has worked particularly well for recent consultations that other members will recall. In 7 days or whatever deadline the council the members agree to for comments and observations answers to go to Catherine for collation, and Catherine is delegated responsibility then to draft the response.
Thank you.
If members want to propose that a particular member assists her with that, then
John, do you mind if I John, hand up, John?
Yeah, I was travelling back along the M40 on Sunday, and I popped into the service station near Beaconsfield, and just went to the WH Smith that's there, and got the drinks cabinet there, cans of caffeine drinks and cans of lemonade and everything else, and then in amongst the cans of a similar size to the caffeine drinks were things like gin and tonic.
Right.
And other alcoholic drinks in very similar packaging to the non-alcoholic drinks. I don't think that's right. I mean, the people who drive to service stations, I genuinely don't think that alcohol should be available, certainly in service stations, arguably in garages too, because people are there behind a wheel, and I think having that availability of alcohol in such a method is likely to contravene the principles of the licensing policy, which is about promoting safety, for children particularly, but also road safety and criminal use, of alcohol behind the wheel and so on. So I don't know whether there's scope or whether it's even agreed by other councils around the table, but I think we should somehow say this is something that needs to be looked at in some more depth. I mean, I don't know if there are links between road safety, alcohol use, and service stations availability of alcohol. I don't know whether anybody's researched that, but I think the policy itself should be evidence-based, should be looking at that kind of research. And if it can be shown that these availability of these sorts of drinks in service stations or indeed in garages and so on has led to people topping up with alcohol in ways that is not legal, let alone safe, then I think the policy should reflect that.
Okay.
So my suggestion is, I don't know, but I think it needs research, somebody to do the research on whether there has been research and whether it's been shown that makes a difference, or if it does make a difference, then that should feature within the licensing policy.
my recollection is that the Lord changed some years ago to allow some alcohol in the motorway service stations. But there's no reason why comment can't be made as a response to one of these questions if there's a suitable question.
I'm fairly certain that there would have to be a separation between alcoholic and soft drinks so that the kid can't just go up and take first.
Well, that wasn't in this.
Colour.
What?
I mean, if a child goes and thinks, oh, I won't have Coke, I'll have that one, it's a pretty green colour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was certainly give us
It's still
a
at think 25. Process has got to be run through that.
Okay.
Frank,
Okay. When I first learned about licensing things, which was probably 40 years ago, there was a specific part of the Act which precluded petrol stations, roadside rest stops, etc., from having licences. That was changed in the 2005 Act, I think, which was when it came out of magistrates and went on to councils. There was all sorts of changes with that. This licensing policy has to adhere to the legislation. We can't be asking Buckinghamshire Council to change their policy to be in not be in line with the legislation. I think it was Beaconsfield Services was the first services to have a pub built there, and I think it was a Wetherspoons, and it's I think it's fairly recently closed. But I may be wrong on that, but it was certainly somewhere around that area. As for TJ Jones or WH Smith,
It was WH Smith, yeah.
well, that's a travel shop now.
No, there was a WH Smith in the service station. It wasn't TL Jones.
there still are some of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I thought they'd rebranded all
No,
of their
not-
shops, and they're only doing travel things. I stand corrected.
Okay.
As for that, that's something to take up with their management, as to their shelf stocking policy. And when I worked in supermarkets and in off licenses and other places like that, there is a plan where everything has to go on the shelves. You can't suddenly start moving that from there to there or anything like that. There is, and it's all laid down by head office as to where things are. If that was an issue in that particular store, then that's something to take up with that store. That's not something I don't think that we can go through on this. Having said all that, I've been very happy to work with Catherine. Resident expert in licensing.
Talking to a law firm, so not an expert.
Before I go,
You don't have to drink.
before I go to Robin, it's we have to decide whether we have a consultation now or if we separate it, and we propose with Frank to join with Catherine and for us to put forward our ideas. So really, we don't want to be discussing the whole consultation at this point, I would say. If we're going to go down, Robin needs one.
Yeah, I mean, I've sat on licensing, and I'm an expert on gun licensing. This will be under the 2003. That's
Right.
It's pretty prescriptive as far as about the policies and what it could state that in the consultation anyway. Keep credit. What I'm saying here, so I think that those are the areas where you have to have in mind when you make things, because licensing work, well, you might have lots of ideas about how you want to change licensing, but that's quite right that you've got to work around the actual legislation. Now, how licensing interpret that legislation is how officers interpret. They'll make, when they grant a license, they then review the grounds that they give a license and what they're going to do. Now, if you think there's a significant challenge to that, that something needs to be looked at within the licensing, one specific part of the Licensing Act, which refers to it and refer back to it and says, are you sure that in these circumstances that? Because they work very legally, they can't do anything else. It's not a political decision, it's just led by the law. And generally, they're open to they can't do it because they can't change the law. But that's what it's a few years that I've sat on licensing.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I've put myself off with now.
John, you,
Well, if it's driven by legislation, 2000, whatever it was, then I guess the question is, why do we have a local policy? Because if it's all bound up in legislation, and the job of the council basically is to enforce the legislation, then what else is there in the local?
I know, but we do have to.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not saying that obviously the Shire Council should be incompatible with the law, but I think we could still raise the question as to whether there's any wiggle room to discourage alcohol availability in certain places. I mean, having a pub in a service station.
But we can't,
That was a good idea.
we can ask the question, but we shouldn't really expect much.
No, I
Because
can see
the question is there.
and I'll be writing to the PCC about this as well, and probably to WH Smith too, because I mean, you know, in terms of my history, I was working in health education back in the sort of the late 80s. And I remember writing an alcohol policy with 3 doctors for Oxford, and we specifically put in there that alcohol should not be available in places where drivers turn up, like petrol stations and so on. And that was the policy then. Now that's going back 40 odd years ago, and it saddens me that the legislation has changed to make that happen, but I'm not surprised because the alcohol industry is a very forceful lobbyist and will have got in there and then to get you through alcohol.
Your points are taken, but can I suggest we go back to the consultation, and Fran's happy to work with Catherine on that. Is there anyone else would like to be part of that team? John?
Yeah, I would so
John?
there's some specific questions in here that I would like us to answer, yeah.
Martin?
I would like to say that as we've done with other consultations, all members are available to put their answers to either of Catherine or John or Fran to take into account.
Yeah.
Robin?
They're doing this because they've got to legally do this, and they have to consult on policy. They have to publish it, and they have to do that.
Thanks.
So they're bound by it. I'm sure they would see the drift from one year to another without the extra work, but this is what licence officers do, and the head of licensing will be expecting. But there's, you know, there's statutory guidance that they work to, and it's very much, as I said, a very litigious thing. As much as we'd like to change the law on lots of things, but probably at the wrong level of government to how to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Can I then propose that that both Fran and John work with Catherine on this, obviously as a committee, and we put our thoughts forward and go from there?
I believe the deadline was the 18th of June.
No, not in July.
July.
5th of July.
Closing date, 5th of July.
Yeah, is it? I've just looked through this document and it says consultation period ends 18th of June.
Closing date of consultation 5th of July.
It's not that it says June.
It says 18th of June.
No, I thought that's also.
No, that's the licensing application for
That's the next point.
that's the next item.
Thank you for spotting that, because I'm getting wrapping into one.
So my proposal is that we accept Fran and John with Catherine, and that we put our suggestions forward to them, and they'll come back to us.
Can I ask by the weekend? Because I'm going to take some leave soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're happy to accept that.
Yep.
We need a show of hands.
Yes, please.
I'll second it if it needs a
Oh,
second.
sorry, I'm getting carried away with myself, yeah.
It's the chair. The physical chair.
If only. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, so 7.2, it's a licensing application for Porton Mill. And as we can clearly see the hours of licensing there. We all know it's a gym area. We all know that it's a community of people as well. So they're looking to create their own community within that. And part of that seems to be this whatever is licensing. So Fridays 11 till 9, Saturdays 11 till 6, and Sundays 11 till 4. We've had about those right. And what have you. So any thoughts on this?
I can see no reason to object to this.
I have no objections really, but I do find it funny in some places. No vertical drinking permitted.
I hadn't come across that phrase before.
I mean, who are these people that write this stuff? And
Horizontal drinking is okay.
no, it looks as though it's an actual thing. I don't know. I know standing around and drinking, you have to be seated. The one that I don't really think will happen, it's nice to put in, staff will monitor and the dispersal of customers to ensure this is conducted in an orderly and considerate manner, i.e. dispersing without shouting at the top of their voices or revving up their engines. Oh no, they've just been drinking, they won't be doing that, will they? So yeah, again, some of the training thing I think is a tongue in cheek, but yeah, let it go. As far as I'm concerned.
John had his hand up first.
Yeah, I've been assuming the vertical drinking leads to horizontal.
Yeah.
That's why it's a concern.
Maybe one or two of us.
Yeah.
Robin?
Well, having external speakers, so that's, good to see, so they're not putting those in, which would be, people who live on the other side of the road.
Yes.
Just turn the ones up inside.
The same side as Mr. Cushway right next door.
Yeah.
True.
Anyway, the other thing is the CCTV is going to be installed in key areas which can include the entrance and the return for viewing. So if there is something untoward, people can go at the lights and can ask the CCTV of what the event was. I'm sure that I don't think I'd want to go into a gym and filmed. I don't think that would do anybody any good whatsoever. Frankly, it'd be quite a horror movie for anyone.
Do they still do what was it called? You could get you 250 quid for you sending your video clips in. Oh,
Have you been framed?
I don't think I'd get instructed that I could have. I think Mr. Philby Joe advert would probably whatever, but I think I am reassured that they're doing that, and it might be, the comment on the will be retained for 31 days. Well, if there was an incident, they stated it in their licence application. The licensing would come and look at that and see exactly what happened, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So can I just go to a vote on that then? Yeah.
I think Martin seconded, didn't you?
No.
What did you?
Roger's going to second that.
Okay.
We'll go to a vote on that. And please.
The vertical hand, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that, please. I'll be in trouble.
Be careful how you hold your hand up.
Right. So item 8, chair's announcement. Any information I've got is Catherine's taking a well-earned break.
Because the computer system at Aylesbury is having break.
Oh,
It will be down.
are you sure it's not broke?
It will be down for a week while they finally gather up their skirts of AVDC stuff and old county stuff and amalgamated into the interesting one they've got.
That would be good.
But it'll be because there won't be any decisions or applications coming through.
Yeah.
They're either going to have a big bang beforehand and then go away, fiddle with their systems, or I'm going to come back from leave and find a mountain of stuff in my inbox that I've got to process it overnight.
I'm sure you'll wish Catherine a nice break.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's the only chair's announcements I have. Date of the next meeting is Monday, the 13th of July.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
You.